Hello, you all. Welcome to Fill Up Friday Live. As you come in, please say hello. Let us know that you are here. Let us know where you are listening from, where you're watching from, too. We want to give some folks a little bit of time to come in, and then we are going to get started. How was everyone's week and everybody's week? You guys, it has been a long week. How's everybody's week been? I hope it's been good. I hope you had a great Friday. And most importantly, I hope that you guys filled up. See, we have a few people watching. You guys do not be shy. This is an interactive, motivational, inspirational show. And so we love for people to comment. Um, if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, if you have a guest that you want us to have on, send us a message in our inbox, or you can email us at jspirationslive@gmail.com. You can comment here. This show is just all about making sure that we are encouraging each other, that we are motivating each other. It's so many things going on in this world that's not right, that's dark, and we want to be the right and we want to be the light in the world. And so starting right here at social media, because this is where most people interact and engage. Unfortunately, we don't do a lot of in-person talking to each other, loving on each other in person. And so we can start here, and when we start here, we can really just start to flow out into the community more, and we can really just start to change things because we are the change. Hey, cousin, how are you? I love you too. I'm so glad that you're on tonight. How you doing? Listen, so you guys know I don't like to start late, but I do like to give folks time to come on. If you're just joining too, so our folks that join us every Friday night here at 8 o'clock, we call them the Fill Up Friday Faithfuls. So if you want to be a Fill Up Friday Faithful, just keep coming back every Friday night at 8 o'clock. I promise you will be blessed. I promise you, coming into this community will make a difference in your life. It'll make a difference in your relationships. It'll make a difference in your self esteem and your confidence. I'm just telling you, it will make a difference in how you move and in how you see things and how you do things. I don't know how long some of you all have been following me, but I've been doing this since 2018. And I had some crazy traumatic things that happened in 2021 that really changed my life. But because of Jspirations Live, I feel like the things that happened changed my life, but I feel like Jspirations Live, it saved my life. It gave me a place to come on and to be transparent. And also start to not only sow good seed into my own life, but to really be more conscious and to be more intentional about sowing seeds into other people's lives and letting people know that they are not alone and that we have a lot of positive things that we can fill up on. Hey, JY, thank you, cousin. All right, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I am Mrs. J Spire, the host and creator of DJ Spirations Live Show. And every Friday at 8 o'clock, we come on and we do something called Fill Up Friday Live. It's where we talk about what we filled up on over the week. We talked about some of the things we may have gone through. We have not only gone through it, but we talk about some of the things that we have come through, right? Because if you're here tonight and you're listening, then you have come through it, right? Because you are still here and you made it. And so we come on and we inspire each other and we motivate each other and we talk about what we're going to do this weekend to make sure that we're practicing self-care and that we continue to fill up, right? Because we know that we cannot run half empty. Well, we can run on half empty because a car can continue to run when it's halfway full, right? But then when it seems like when it gets halfway full, that gas starts going a little bit faster, and the next thing you know, it's on E. And that's not how we want to run. That's not how we want to live our lives. So we want to always talk about what we can fill up on and what we can do. So you guys know that we post usually every day when God gives us something to post. We don't post anything just to be posting. Everything that we do here on J Inspirations Live, it's what? It's intentional. And so just thinking about what we've been posting this week. On Monday, I didn't post a lot of anything, but I just posted a song. I posted the song God Has Smiled on Me, right? I woke up on Monday morning with a heart full of thanksgiving and with a heart full of praise, and just knowing that regardless of all the things that's been going on around me, all the things that's been going on in my life, it doesn't matter, that God has still smiled on me. The song says, God has smiled on me and he's been good to me. And so I woke up with that song in my heart. And then we didn't post anything on Tuesday, but then on Wednesday, we posted Wisdom Wednesday. And what we posted was, people say that you should only have expectations of yourself, as you can't control what anyone else does. Having expectations of yourself and others, it helps to remind you of your worth. You can't make anyone do anything or not do anything, but you do control what you allow someone else to do. Tell them to get somebody else to do it. See, you're not stopping them. You're just not allowing them to do it in your space. And so we're going to talk a little bit about expectations tonight as well. And then on Thursday, we had Thursday Thoughts. And we said that sometimes we have to move out of our environment to see and appreciate the changes that God has made in our lives. Venturing out allows you to see things differently and to really acknowledge God's strength in your life. I challenge you today to step out of your comfort zone and watch God work. Don't do it for likes, don't do it for acknowledgments, but do it so God can get the glory and you can see through your own lenses. Life isn't clear when you're looking at something through someone else's glasses. And so that's what we posted on Thursday. So this week, I want you guys to drop in as well what you filled up on this week. So this week was kind of a hard week for me. It was a rough week for me. Just going through, a couple things. And just trying to figure out what I was going to do to maneuver through the week to make it as normal as possible, right? And I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do or how I was going to do it. But just what we posted on Monday, God already was showing me how I was going to maneuver through the week. And it was pretty much because he dropped that song in my heart that says, God has smiled on me. And because God has already smiled on me, that's why I can continue to smile. That's why you can continue to smile, because God has already smiled on you. He smiled on us, and he has been so good to us. Now, when people go through things and we're going through things, I'm not minimizing it as at all. I'm not minimizing what I've gone through. I'm not minimizing what you've gone through. But what God is telling us is, yes, you're in some of these things, or you've gone through some of these things, and you have experienced some of these things. But through it all, I'm smiling on you. I've smiled on you, right? Because every day he gives us another chance, another opportunity to do something different. And then I started thinking later on in the week, these things that we call expectations, right? I was thinking, sometimes I have these expectations of other people, and then someone will say, you're not supposed to have expectations of other people, but I disagree based on what we posted this week. And it's because when you have expectations of yourself, you know what you expect to do, you know how you're moving, you know why you do things. And then, although you can't control what other people do, having the expectation of them, it helps you to know what your worth is, and it helps you to know and guide you in knowing what you allow them to do in your space, right? So Lucy says, I want my space, right? And that's the thing. We have to command our spaces. We can't stop people from doing anything. We can't make people do anything, but we can control what we allow people to do to us and what we do in their space. So that expectation that you have of yourself and that you have of others, it helps us to create boundaries, right? And sometimes we have to create boundaries in order to have our space, in order to have and know our capacity of what we're going to deal with and what we're not going to deal with. It doesn't mean that people are bad people because they do certain things. It doesn't mean that you can't they can't, they shouldn't deal with other people or other people shouldn't deal with them. It's just us putting boundaries on how they interact and how they engage with us because of the expectations. Having those expectations, it lets you know what your worth is, and it shows them that, hey, I know what's good for me. I know what's not good for me. I know what I'm going to tolerate, and I know what I'm not going to tolerate. And so, though I filled up on family, I filled up on love, but I filled up on expectations and on making boundaries, right? For how close I allow people to get to me, what I allow people to do to me, what I allow people to say to me, and how I allow people to, to interact and engage with me. Right. So those expectations, we should always have expectations of ourselves and of other people that we interact and that we engage with. So that's what I filled up on this week. What did you all fill up on this week? Y'all know I can always keep talking, but I definitely filled up on family and I filled up on love. I got to spend some time with my family and I hadn't spent time with them in a while. And it was good for me. Not only was it good for me just to see them, but it was good for me to just be around them in general, even though we didn't have to do anything. Sometimes when we have things going on in our lives, we tend to separate ourselves from people who we really need to be around, because sometimes we don't want to take accountability. Sometimes we don't want other people to feel uncomfortable because maybe we're in an uncomfortable space. Sometimes we don't want to feel uncomfortable, so we just stay by ourselves. But I'm telling you, when you're feeling vulnerable and when you're feeling like you're down and you're feeling like you can't make it or you can't really move through, that is when you really need to be close to people who love you. um they may not understand you. They may love you, but they may not understand you, but that's okay. Sometimes just being in that presence of those folks, it's good for you. So when things are going on, don't shy away. Move close to those people who are important to you. Move close to those people who you can lean on their shoulder. You can have those conversations, or you can just be in the space and just be quiet. But just the fact that you're there together, it makes a world of difference. So I see a lot of people popping on, but I don't see you guys jumping in the comments and telling us what you filled up on this week. I know we aren't that rusty, you guys. We missed last week, but we are not that rusty. So my cousin Barbara's on. She and I've already chatted. JY, I said hey, and we chatted a little bit. Lucy is on. I see Christine popped in. Hey, Christine. She said she's watching from home, so she must just be relaxing. And then Shonda is on. So you guys, welcome tonight. I hadn't talked to you guys since we did the painting and purses a couple of weeks ago, so I was able to host that event, and we had an awesome time. Paula says she filled up on getting some needed rest. That's good. That means that you listen to your body, and that's what we have to do. We definitely have to listen to our bodies, and we have to relax when we need to. Yep, Christine said relaxing. So now that we've talked a little bit about what we filled up on, and you guys can continue to put it in the chat. But now that we've talked a little bit about what we filled up on, I wanted to talk about a couple other things tonight before we get off. what I posted tonight on the description of our show is that, of course, we want to talk about what did you fill up on, but I also wanted to talk about some things that I learned about myself this week, and I hope that that it helps you. And I learned it about myself a couple of ways. I did learn it about myself by talking to Paula, and then I learned it about myself just by reflecting after talking to her, and actually even before. So as I was talking about some things, and then I decided to call her to share some information with her, she confirmed exactly what I had learned about myself and what I was trying to do. So I'm going to keep talking about that. But LaShonda said she filled up on rest. She finally took some extended time from work last week, and she was able to do some much needed self-care. That's great, because y'all know how we feel about self-care on Jayspirations Live. So I'm glad you got the opportunity to do that, LaShonda. So what I learned about myself this week, I learned that if I wait too long, I will talk myself out of something. Did y'all hear that? I learned that if I wait too long, I will talk myself out of something. I will talk myself out of doing something that I need to do, out of going to a place that I need to go, out of experiencing something that I need to experience, out of participating in something that I need to participate in, if I wait too long. And it's so crazy because that was Thursday. I think I may have posted it. I don't know if I posted it before or after I had the conversation, but on Thursday, I posted. Sometimes we have to move out of our environment to see and appreciate the changes that God has made in our lives. Venturing out allows you to see things differently and to really acknowledge God's strength in your life. I challenge you today to step out of your comfort zone and watch God work. Don't do it for likes. Don't do it for acknowledgments, but do it so God can get the glory and you can see through your own lenses. Y'all know I'm trying to read all of it. So, life, let me see it. Life isn't clear when you wear someone else's glasses. I'm looking up because I'm looking at the computer screen to be able to read what we posted. So I wanted to encourage you all tonight to not talk yourself out of what you know that you are called to do. I was listening actually to, I had been thinking about it for a while, but I was listening to the Willie Moore Jr. radio show yesterday on my way home. And he just started talking about his experience as a radio host and being able to see all of his followers and folks out in the community and how it makes him feel. How it makes him feel when people are calling in and commenting and really interacting and engaging with him. And I started thinking, I really need to get back on the radio. So my mom has been telling me that, Paula's been telling me that, you need to get back on the radio. And I kept saying that I wanted to do it, but I didn't know if I could do it. Right. I wasn't sure, how I would respond to it or what would happen. But the fact is, if we don't do something, we never know what it's going to look like. Right. And so we just keep telling ourselves, what if this happened? Well, the other question is, what if it doesn't? Right. What if it's great? Right. But then what if it's not? And that's okay, because when things aren't great, we have the opportunity to make it better. Right. But we never know what's going to happen if we don't get out there and we don't try. And so when I heard Willie Moore talking about his show, something in me just got really excited. And I was like, you need to get back. And so to have some accountability, I called the young lady's radio station that I used to broadcast on, and she didn't answer the phone. And actually I thought, oh man, she didn't answer, so I don't have to do it. I don't have to tell her that I'm thinking about coming back. So then I decided to call Paula. And when I called Paula, and I was like, I'm thinking about going back to the radio show. And she was like, that's great. Go ahead and call her so you won't talk yourself out of it. And I was like, so out of, knows that I was all myself out, called the young lady. But the fact the opportunity to do it because I do it. But he didn't call me back about it. So y'all, is video we some point hear me to keep going. So yes, sometimes we have to have a hiatus. Sometimes we have to have a break, but we have to go back. We have to keep going and we have to keep doing it because we never know how far we can get. We never know how great it can be or how great it's going to be if we stop. So tonight I challenge you to get out of your environment and to do something different. Because if we stay in one place, then we're always going to do the same thing. And so, again, I'm saying it again because it's accountability. We're going back on Christian Life Radio and we're going back to broadcasting live on online radio. And I am so excited about it because my voice is needed and your voice is needed. So when we start back in June, our Fill Up Friday Faithfuls, I'm going to be needing you to call in. I'm going to be needing you to comment. I'm going to be needing you to participate because the world needs to hear us. The world needs to see us. We are good seed and we are light in darkness, and we can't keep hiding behind the bush. Right? We have to come out and we have to let our light shine. So there's going to be times when we don't know if we can do it. There's going to be times when we're going to be scared. But my friend Shondell says, do it scared. And then Nike says, just do it. Right? They've been saying it for a long time. And it's like, just do what? Right? Just do it. Whatever God has called you to, whatever God has put in your heart, whatever he has birthed in you, just do it. It's going to work. It has to work, right? And it's because God's not going to give us anything that's going to lay barren, right? He's not going to give us anything that's not going to flourish. He's not going to give us anything that's not going to sprout. Do it. Do whatever it is that God has put in your heart. Just do it. Do it scared and just try it. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about being able to see the world and see things that God has given me out of my own lenses, not worrying about what other people say, not worrying about what other people think, not worrying about, if other people think I should do it, when I should do it, how I should do it. That's not how we said that we're moving in expectation, right? We're moving in wisdom. And so that's how we have to move, right? We have to move that way. Mom told me ago, we can't keep talking about when we want to do it. We actually have to walk by faith, have to believe it. It's just seed. You got to know a mustard seed. It's tiny that you can't see it in your hand. God, that's all you need. You put it on the property with it. God said that it's just the mustard seed. And walking in that mustard seed faith this year, and I invite you guys and I ask you guys to walk that mustard seed with me. Whatever it is that you want to do, just do it. It's a lot of things that I have talked myself out of, out of fear, out of worrying about what someone else may think about it, right? Out of saying, you know what, it may not work, it may not last. But God birthed my Jayspirations Live radio show inside of a pandemic. That's when he birthed it, when everything was laying bare, right? We couldn't do anything. We couldn't go anywhere. Nothing was growing. And what did he do? He sprouted me right on up. And many of you, he sprouted you right on up too, right? When you felt like there was no moisture, when you felt like there was no water, when you felt like, everything was just dry and we couldn't do anything, but that's when he birthed it. And so because he birthed it then, I know that it is my responsibility, it is my duty to keep going, because he has great things for me. But in order for those great things to continue to shower down on us, we have to do our part. God is already doing his part. He's already in position and he's already ready. He's waiting for us to get in position and do what he has called us to do. Like, that is a partnership that you can count on, right? When God is holding your hand, and he's standing beside you, and he's walking in front of you, and he's behind you. He has your back too. That is a relationship that you can count on. You can take it to the bank. And so I'm encouraging you tonight to walk in what God has called you. And so I'm thankful for my folks who, hold me accountable and who tell me, no, you have to do it. Excuse me, you have to do it now. And you can't renege and you can't go back. And so that's what I'm planning on doing this year. So radio is back and I am excited. We will be posting when we're going to start soon. And we're going to be looking for guest hosts, and we're going to be looking for guests and topics. And we want you guys to call in, let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you want to talk about. And then when we start posting and we start promoting, I need my Fill Up Friday faithfuls to help us promote, help us to get the word out. We have work to do. And it's not just me, even though I may be the one, the face of it, I may be the one that's on here talking, but it's not just me. We are a community. We are a village, and we need each other so that we can keep filling each other up and that we can keep moving forward. My auntie popped on here. Hey, auntie. So I just want to say I love you guys, and I missed you guys last week, but I took some time just to fill up and relax as well. And so it's good to be back. Keep spreading the word, keep sharing a smile, keep loving on yourself, keep loving on others. There is a lot of darkness, yes it is, but we are the light. And so we have to just continue to give and give and give. Keep smiling, keep shining. Right? That's what the song says, knowing that you can always count on me. Some of those old songs, we had no idea what those songs really meant. But now we're in a place where, we're in a place now where we know, like we really know what those songs mean. They mean something totally different than what we thought when we were younger or when we were in a different space. But a smile goes a long way. A word of encouragement goes a long way. A look in the eye goes a long way when you pass someone on the street. Just do what you can to try to make somebody else's day a little bit better or a little bit easier. I just saw my sister pop up on here, y'all, and hit the heart button. My sister is in the house. Hey, Janae. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully we'll be announcing a few more events coming up later on this summer. We're working on a 5-year celebration. I'm excited about that. My administrator is probably going to say, stop doing all this stuff out there, but I'm excited about what God is doing. I'm excited about what he's doing for Jayspirations Live. I'm excited about what he's doing for Joe Shalon. I'm excited about what he's doing for people who are connected to me. Like, I see you, I know you see me. And that's the thing, we have to see each other and we have to acknowledge. We're not doing things for acknowledgement. That's not why we're doing it. But when people are doing things and people are getting things done and people are touching the community, we need to be able to say, hey, I see you, and I acknowledge the good work that you're doing. I acknowledge the foot that you're putting forward to do something for yourself and to do something for somebody else. It's time for us to get moved. So it's a couple things that I was supposed to do at the end, before the end of March, that I didn't get done. And so now I need to start pushing to getting it done, because we have to, if I'm walking in expectation, then I can't expect for it to get done if I don't do what I'm supposed to do. Even though we know that, yep, God can make it happen just like that, but he wants us to be vested in it. Right. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. As we always, please take some time this weekend to practice self-care. Fill up on what you need to fill up on. You don't start the next week running on empty. Have rest, have a great weekend. And as always, I love you guys and BJ Spire.